When a financial decision doesn't go as planned, it doesn't just affect your wallet, it can actually shake your confidence. And today's episode is all about how you can rebuild both. Hello, 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 and welcome to More Than Money, a podcast where we have nuanced conversations about money, business, and life, where we take the time to explore the human side of money because success with money is never just about the numbers. I'm your host, Jacquette Timmons, and whether this is your very first episode or one of many, I am really, really glad that you are spending some time with me today. So, as I'm recording this, it is still July, it's summertime, and that means that it is a great time to pause and invest in taking your financial and behavioral understanding to another level. And I just happen to have the perfect tool to help you to do that. It's the More Than Money workbook and its audio companion. It's a combination that is designed to help you align your money with a bigger vision. And it really takes a holistic approach in terms of blending practical tools like milestones, relationships, and rituals, along with emotional insights, all that will help to create or a combination that I should say that will help to create a financial strategy that actually fits you. As I like to say, it is designed to increase your financial clarity, your confidence, and your self-awareness. And all you need to do to get started is go to jacquettetimmons.com/digital products. Again, jacquettetimmons.com/digital products. For now, though, let's get into today's show. You may have heard me say this before, and it is not hyperbolic either. When someone buys from me, even if you're listening to this podcast, right, that is an exchange, that's a buy. So when someone buys from me, regardless of the dollar amount, regardless of its money or if it's time, I want people to feel like it is the best damn money or the best damn time they have ever spent. And I mean this seriously. I never want someone to question their decision. And speaking from a financial standpoint, I never want someone to question their decision, because if they do, it doesn't just affect our relationship, it impacts the one they have with themselves as well, especially when it comes to trusting their own decisions. Now, you may wonder, how can I say this so assuredly? Firsthand experience. I don't know about you, but the trigger for me questioning if I spent my money on the quote unquote right thing is often centered around the answer to this question. Did I get what I was expecting based on what I was promised? If the answer is a resounding yes, well, then my experience affirms my choice. On the other hand, if my answer is a resounding no, then oof, it is down the rabbit hole I go, along with my sense of self trust. I start to wonder, what did I miss? I start to wonder, where and how did my research and my vetting process, how did that all fail me? And I become extremely cautious. I start taking longer than usual, sometimes spending more time than really is necessary, second guessing subsequent decisions. And that is because when my self trust, when your self trust, when that takes a hit, it doesn't affect that one decision. It lingers. It lingers in that you become a little bit more hesitant. You might second guess future investments. You might even shrink your vision or delay important moves, all in the name of being cautious, when really you're just trying to protect yourself from the disappointment of making a choice that didn't pan out as you had hoped or expected or had been promised. That's certainly been true for me. And it might be exactly what's behind the silence from someone you're waiting on to say yes. In my work, I never guarantee an outcome. Not only does that veer into, legal territory, it's just pretty obnoxious to assume that I have that level of control. However, I do strongly believe in having a process for making decisions. This way, whether you get the outcome you want or not, you have a process that you can reference and tweak as required. So here's a little behind the scenes. As you may know from firsthand experience with doing the financial flywheel, and if this is all new to you, go to the website, go to jacquettetimmons.com/wheel, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But this is an exercise that is simple yet extremely profound, in that it is a tool designed to help you discover or rediscover, as the case may be, what it is that you want money to do for you. And for some people, even the idea of asking, what do I want money to do for me, is foreign. It's like, wow, I have permission to do that? Yet, it is how I am able to grab people's attention, to help them shift to engaging with their money by design rather than by default. Now, I originally created the Financial Flywheel, previously called the Financial Wheel, over 20 years ago. I've had people tell me that they've found doing the exercise hard simply because it asks them to suspend their current reality for a moment. And truth is, even in that resistance, that is filled with a lot of insight. But I have yet to have someone tell me that they didn't find some aspect of it eye-opening. And here's why I love guiding people through the exercise, whether we're working one-on-one or through the lead magnet, or through a workshop. And it is that simple circle of 4 quadrants. It reveals a lot of information and insight, including your strategy. Is it solid or is it on shaky ground? What's causing the financial stress that you are experiencing? Is it acute or ongoing? And is it the culprit that you thought it was? It reveals the choices that you are making or avoiding or not even seeing as being possible, and how those choices are shaping your self trust. It also reveals the strength of your systems. Are they supporting your strategy? Or is your approach, is your strategy haphazard, right? Um, and none of what I have just mentioned is separate from your mindset or your outcomes. In fact, they're kind of interwoven with one another. And that is why I believe strategy, self-trust, and systems must work together. Strategy gives you direction and systems give you support. But self-trust, that is the glue, baby. It holds everything together. Without it, even the best laid plans or beautifully colored coded spreadsheets, I'm guilty of that, can feel a little bit shaky. And that's where mindset shows up. And I'm not talking about mindset, from the standpoint of vague affirmations, but in your willingness to make decisions, to take risks, and to course correct when, feedback gives you the indication to do so without spiraling. So, what is all of this a prelude for? It actually harkens back to something that we've talked about previously, and most recently in episode 263, and that is all about mid-year reviews. Bringing this all together and doing my own mid-year review, I found myself questioning a choice that I made earlier this year. And one of the things that I've learned to do when this happens is to ask myself whether I would question the choice if the outcome was what I wanted. Because really, how often do we second guess ourselves when things work out the way we wanted them to? This is just one of the many, many reasons mid-year reviews are a powerful tool for experiencing the success that you want with money and in your life and business. And if I haven't made a clear case for it previously, I hope today's episode takes it up a notch and proves why mid-year reviews are about more than just tracking numbers. They're actually a chance to track your relationship with those numbers and with the choices that you have made that created them. So, when you reflect on the past 6 months, or maybe it's 7 months, or even later, as the case may be when you're listening to this, ask yourself, where did I hesitate to make a move and why? Where did I not trust myself? And what did that cost me? What decision am I still judging myself for, even if the outcome wasn't that bad? Because making money sense, it isn't just about income or expenses or assets or liabilities. It's about making peace with your choices and recognizing that every smart move you make starts with trusting yourself in the first place to make it. And regularly doing reviews, it is such an underrated tool for not only looking forward, but making choices with more clarity rather than too much caution. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, I'd like some support with doing my own mid-year review, I want to help. You want some help looking at both the numbers and the narrative behind them. Well, then I want to help you. Let's explore working together because this is exactly the kind of clarity work we would do with my one-on-one coaching. And depending upon your bandwidth, whether that's regarding your time or your wallet, we can explore a 6-month coaching engagement, a half-day VIP coaching session, or maybe even something else. We'll figure it out. But reach out to me on IG, write mid-year review, and we'll set up a discovery call and talk about next steps. But for now, though, it is a wrap for today, folks. And as always, I thank you so much for listening or maybe even watching if you are joining us on YouTube. If you like what you've heard and would like to show appreciation for this podcast overall, or perhaps this particular episode, please do me a favor and share it, because when you share it with those that are in your circle, it helps us to reach people we otherwise might not connect with. And if you happen to be listening on Apple Podcasts, please take a moment and leave a rating and a review. And yes, I am asking for both. Not only do we, read them, but also, let's face it, it helps us with the algorithm and it helps us then to be found by others that are searching for conversations around money, business, and life. Because, we like to have that conversation a bit differently over here on this channel. And of course, if you are on YouTube, please comment below. And before I let you go, here's one more shout out for the More Than Money workbook and its audio companion. Remember, it is designed to increase your financial clarity, confidence, and self-awareness. And I hope that you will add it to your money toolkit. And of course, if you'd like to buy me an iced dirty chai latte this summer, here's how you can do that. buymeacoffee.com/Jaquette. buymeacoffee.com/Jaquette. Thanks again for listening or watching. I will be back with another episode, and I hope that you will join me again. Until then, remember, it's about more than money.